Hi there! Welcome to this week's pick a card reading, and this one is what choice should I make? What is your best choice? A, B, or C, or plug in whatever you might have. We will see. I am Seqkkat, by the way, from Seqkat'sEnlightenment.com, and I'm glad to have you here with me. So go ahead now and take a moment and look at the totems below and see which totem is calling to you. You might feel a little tug, an affinity towards it. Your eyes might keep landing on one particular one. Just go ahead and take a moment and tune in. A good way to do it is to surrender to your higher self and ask for guidance, or your angels, or whatever your deities are. And if you need more time than I'm affording you here, you can always pause the video and once you are ready, you can look in the description box below and you will find beside the totem that you're choosing a timestamp. You can click on that timestamp and it will take you straight to your totem. Okay, so I will meet you at your totem. Okay, welcome. If you chose the Raven for this week's pick a card reading, what choice should I make for October 2020? So let's see what your theme card is. Your theme card is Observe in Silence. Okay, so my first impressions that I'm getting with this card. First, always remember, I have this tuned to many of you, so you want to tune in to see what fits your particular relative story. The first premonition, intuition call I'm getting here is to step into a spiritual perspective and observe from a spiritual perspective. So it's like the ego is in the story as your personality and avatar, and there's a lot of noise because the ego's got its emotions running and it wants to know what's going on. It's got a lot of its own say. Hey, I want this, I want that, but may not know what's best for it. So that is for some of you to observe in that silence, to step into that non-emotional perspective, become that observer of the human aspect, tuning into your higher self. For some of you, whatever's going on in your life, you might just need to observe it in silence, the actual literal meaning of it. And for some of you, you just might need to take a quiet moment within and tune into your higher self. So it's not necessarily observing the story in silence, but actually going into silence, which would bring you back to observance. It's kind of like the first suggestion. Okay, so pull in the cards I'm reading here. All right, so the first thing, like I said, we do need to rein in the ego. So I did catch that one, definitely. We definitely got to rein in the ego, because the ego is running a story here, and the ego loves to take you down the path that's not going to work out for you. Not in your highest best interest anyway, not in your highest alignment and good. So that's the first thing going, and this one also represents Cancer. So keep this in mind. I have this tuned to many of you. So for some of you, it could just simply be tossing you here to say, hey, Cancer, whether that be you or whomever you're engaged with in your situation. Also, we have the High Priestess turning here, and she is in reverse. So there's some healing to be done here. This tells me, as well, it's always good to heed your intuition when you see this card, but definitely when she's in reverse, it's definitely calling for some healing that needs to be done. So you might need to observe in silence, go within and find out what emotions need to be healed. I have a kitty cat bothering me, so just ignore me. You don't see this happening. It's not happening. Stop, leave it alone. So tune into what needs to be healed, because again, that's that calming that ego down, the screams and the hollers and the chattering, but I want. We got to quiet that down, heal this child, validate this child, love it. Your ego is always a child, it's always a toddler. Validate it, but then tune in and hear your higher self for what is in your highest alignment and good. Your ego is going to want to stick with that which is familiar, or that which it thinks it really, really wants. Also, we also have the Hermit card here in reverse. So be careful though. It is good to spend some time going with him, but also be careful to not over isolate. That's one scenario here. For some of you, I'm gathering that you might feel like you're in isolation, and this part is going to play a role in your actual choice that you're going to make. You don't want to be in isolation because we all thrive in community camaraderie, and we heal best with community camaraderie. So to do the healing too, this is not behooving you to be isolated or to be choosing to over-isolating, choosing to introvert too much. We do thrive, and I understand for those introverts out there, I'm introverted too, what that's like. Sometimes we just want to pull away from the world, and a little bit of that is okay, but we don't want to overdo it because we are social creatures by nature, and that is where we thrive the most. So just tune into how those fit your reality. Okay, so that's your theme card. So now what we're going to look at for your first row is going to be your past, whether that's your recent past or a faraway past that is going to be affecting your current present, which will be your second row. And then your third and final row will be, what choice should I make? What choice should you make that is in your highest alignment and good? Whatever scenario that you're struggling with you're trying to make a choice. And I will pull all your cards and start reading them once I get them all card pulled for this row. Let me see if you got one or two more for this row. Yeah, I think, yeah. All right. Okay. All right, so first thing, we might have felt like in our past somehow, in some way, some form or fashion, we did not have family support. That's interesting because it comes up against with the nurturing father card. So maybe a nurturing father wasn't supporting a decision we were trying to make. Perhaps. We do have a loving father, but maybe there was a particular decision we were making that they didn't like. That's possible. This could represent your very own character as a loving, caring, nurturing father type. So it could be representing that. There's some disharmony of some type, perhaps in the lover's department with romance. So that could have been occurring. And then we do have family support. So actually, since this is coming up with family support, this one can also mean like a gathering together and celebrating with family. So there was a lack of gathering together and celebrating with family. So it could have been like right now during 2020 with this pandemic, you were unable to get together with family and celebrate or do normal things that you would do, cookouts, what have you, birthday parties, what have you, whatever comes up. Those celebrations, because the pandemic kind of closed us off. So it could have been that very, very well, sure enough, because this one does suggest you have family support, so that kind of would bring up more for that. You have to tune into your relative reality, see how that fits. And somehow or another, you were feeling out of alignment with some people, like you were out of a aligned tribe of somehow, and you were feeling out of balance. So that is your past tense. So now let's look what you got going on that is affecting your present. So let's look at your present now and see what you got going on. Just make some more space there. Okay. And again, here they come. They're jumping good for you. I love that. When that happens, I will draw up all cards and start reading it for you. Okay, I've got a few. All right, so they have a lot to say. So now we have to make room for all that they want to say. Okay, which is fine until we get to that room. Okay, so your current present, you're dealing with fond memories. So memories perhaps of loved ones or friends or what have you. And you have a desire that is kind of ideal for you and you're wanting to go for that. You're trying to do that. But you have some scary thoughts here that are coming to your forefront. And some of your fears are coming to the forefront. And you're being reassured by the universe to have your support, but you're actually focused on your fears. So you want to take your focus off of that, the way that's coming up here. This also represents Sagittarius, by the way, so it could be tossed in for some of you, that one. So you definitely want to take your focus off of whatever you're fearing so that you can pull those out of your reality, because it's bringing that into the reality there. Yeah, and then you want to let go of that focus because that's falling right behind it there. Because there's some mourning and grief here showing up. And that's going to spill right back over here to these nightmares. So if you're experiencing something that you're fearing, that this is like a mourning and grief that I think you're fearing to feel that you have felt in the past. I think that's what you got going. You can be on a successful path with personalities that you get along with. That one would assure you success, but it looks like you're having some disharmony here with the lover, with the lover's card showing up here in reverse. So you're in disharmony somehow with your lover. And this also represents Gemini, so some of you could be just awesome there to say that. And then you are trying to work on a path that can definitely bring in your harvest that is meant for you, but you're going to have to take a step. You're really worried about getting burnt. You got to take a little preparatory step here, and somehow you're feeling overwhelmed. I don't know if that's these nightmares that are overwhelming you. Since this is a what choice you got to make, for some of you, maybe it is a nightmares are overwhelming you and they're fearful because you're really focused on them and perpetuating them, and you really do need to let them go, and they tie into a past that really brought you some heartache from what I'm seeing with these cards. And then for some of you, since it's what choice you got to make, you're feeling overwhelmed, which is pushing you towards a choice. So you're going to tune in and see which relative reality fits for you there on that one, guys. Okay, so that is your present tense. All right, so now let's look at what choice should you make. What choice should you make that is in your highest good and alignment? You know your story, you know your scenario, so you know how this goes. Again, and of course, as always, I will pull apart all the cards and then start reading them. I'll see. We have one more. We got the row. Let's see. Yeah, a few more actually. Okay. Oh boy. I had to ask. Okay. So at some point in your time, you have gone and experienced some defeat here. And I told you, you've got your mind focused on that from a past event. I can see that. Or you're feeling defeated by something. So you're dealing with this right now. And so what choice should you make? You're having a choice to make. Now here's its dealio. With this one, you have a choice to make, but this is a tough one because this is the old in between the hard place and rock. The current situation, you don't like it as it is. And the choice that you need to make, you don't like that either. You don't like the immediate result that could bring. But my advice always is make that choice because you're stuck in a situation that you do not like right now. And the only way to get out of that is to make a change. And if your initial step has to be something you dislike, eventually that is going to lead to steps and choices that will bring you better results. So ultimately, this leads you to your highest good and alignment. So that is the advice on that one. Because you're dealing with some defeat of some type, and that's going to help you with that. And then you need to hold your ground, too. You need to hold your ground with someone or some people who might be challenging you with what your desires are. You're going to have to figure out what you want in this. What choice should you make? What do you want to pull you out of this, and then hold your ground with what you want. And do not worry, if you cannot handle this, your guides will come in and knock it out for you. The people don't like to see the Tower card. It's really the ego that doesn't like to see the Tower card, because the ego will like to go for something it thinks it wants, because the ego paints a picture of its future, and it thinks it's going down this proper path and it's right for it. But when things are off, and you're focused on negative situations, or if you're not in your full preference, and you know this, full, true, pure presence where you're purely happy. And you got something nagging at you, that's ego. And your guides will come and knock that out. You got and your guides, the universe is supporting whatever it is the guides are going to knock out for you. They're supporting that because then that is going to lead you to jump for that which is ideal for you, that which is of the heart, like I said. And that's what you're trying to work on right here. This is actually the same card. You're trying to work on that. Well, not exactly. But I mean, it's kind of, this one says to jump for that which is ideal for you too, but this one is like there is a new journey befalling you that you need to jump for. So there's something you're doing right now that you need to take a new step, a new path to jump for that which is ideal for you, and you have the universal support of that. So that's being sandwiched in with the Tower, so whatever the guides are going to knock out from your past, with your hard decisions and your past failures, because this card also represents whatever this is, this defeat is coming to an end. So they're also representing that as well. So, and this is going to lead you to that which is ideal for you, which is awesome. They are saying you're missing, this one, don't miss out on it, opportunities, and fear of failure. Like I said, that I was telling you, that ego thinks it wants something, but the ego can't see the whole picture. Where your higher self sees the whole picture, it sees the full future. And the ego can't. The ego just sees what's going on right now. I want that candy right now, and I want tons of candy. Your higher self can see the cavities that can lead to. Your higher self can see the sugar high or sugar issues that could lead to, or the obesity it can lead to. The ego has trouble in that area, so that's where the ego needs to surrender. And yeah, and you have some preparation to do. You definitely do, and you're missing out on some time spent with loved ones and friends, and that's pulling on the relationship here. So that is definitely playing a role. So yeah, that is causing, yeah, that's tugging at some relationships that I feel are important to you. So that is what's your next up. You have some preparations to make, and you want to flip this one since, what choice? I'm so used to assuming what your next step. What choice should you make? This one's tugging at the heart, I think, because it's in reverse. So to tell you what choice to make, they're wanting you to flip it. So their suggestion is spend that time with those loved ones and friends that make you feel good. Remember, I told you with some of you, this over isolation, I picked that up. Some of you are just choosing to introvert too much because of a situation. Some of you are feeling isolated from your loved ones that you do not want to be isolated from. So that's some of that situation, and that's showing up here too, what choice to make. That's what that's showing up there. Okay, so that is your base reading. And I did that with the Mystical Cat Tarot, and your theme card was done with the Messenger Oracle. So now we will clarify with the Tarot Familiar. Okay, so a shout out to my new subscribers and regular subscribers. Thank you. I love you very much, and I appreciate your support and being here. And a shout out to if you are new here. Welcome. I'm glad to have you here with me. Awesome to have you. I appreciate likes and subscribes. They really help me back. Thank you. And also, exciting, I have new readings. I do offer personal readings, and the links below in the description box below, but I have new readings at lower prices to help those out. Like one of them is like what's your money blocks and what's your love block readings. So if you're interested in those, if you're struggling in those areas, you might want to check those out. Okay, so your theme was about observing in silence. So I told you some of it you just might need to sit back for some of you and get out of the emotional story with the ego, tune to your higher self, because your higher self can see that whole picture. It's going back to that. Your higher self knows. And then some of you just might need to sit back and watch your surroundings quietly and watch. So some of you need to kind of do that. And then you've got the Chariot card coming in here reversed, saying, yep, we definitely need to rein in that ego. We're having some issues with ego. And there's definitely some healing that needs to be done with the Priestess in reverse. And then you've got, in the Chariot card also represents Cancer. And then you've got the Hermit in reverse. So we got some over-isolation, either by choice for some of you, and we need to not do that. That can help us on our healing. Or we're feeling isolated, and we need to take care of what's causing us to feel isolated from loved ones. That too will help you heal. And that one also represents Hermit. And we just don't want to clarify this one for some reason because the Tarot Familiar is being quiet. There it goes. Okay, so that's two of them. Okay, so here we go. We've got the King of Pentacles. So yeah, this is like when the king falls off of his throne. And that's going to happen when we're listening to ego. So if we don't rein in that ego, it's just going to lead you to demise. We don't want to do that. And you need to start that new journey again. So that new journey that is ideal for you, you saw that in what choices you make. And you're being assured success when you begin that new journey. So you've got to get some healing and trust. Trust your higher self on that one, that you can definitely have that. Okay, so that clarifies your theme. Now let's clarify your past, which we saw what I thought was not family support, but it was actually not being able to spend time in celebration with loved ones, with family, is what that is. And that definitely could be a result for many of you for this pandemic, because we do have a loving father character here. I don't know if that represents you or someone you know, a father character to you. And when you were experiencing disharmony with a romance partner, perhaps, and remember, this is a faraway past or a recent past that's affecting your current present. And you do have family support, right? It looks like you have family support there. And then you're feeling out of alignment too with some people of some type. It could definitely, you could be feeling out of alignment with your partner, since that's in disharmony right there. And then you're feeling out of balance with all of this too. Now, as we affirm this, clarify this, it's kind of interesting how they clarify it. Because they either reaffirm what's happened in your past, or they might start giving you suggestions to do. So let's see what they do. They've only given us a couple cards here, so I'll do a few more shuffles and see if we have more to say. There we go. Got one more there. Okay. All right, so we have the Knave of Wands. Yeah, there we go. You have this one showing up in your present tense too. A new journey too. So you're definitely being called to a new journey. Whatever choice you got to make is a new choice. There's a little bit of preparation you need to do for that. Because it showed up in your past too. Or they could be, like I said, they'll do that too. They will start affirming ideas for what you to do now. So they could be reaffirming that, because that's actually showing up in your present as well. And the Two of Pentacles in reverse too. Wow, they're definitely reaffirming that exactly. That feeling is the same as that card. So yeah, they're definitely reaffirming that. And then the Ace of Wands. Yep, that's a new journey too. And it's a passionate desires. But that one is being delayed. And I think it's because of some preparation you need to make. I think it's because you've got some healing to do. Definitely got some healing to do there, guys. Okay, so that is your past. Now let's clarify your presence, which you are looking at some fond memories of the past and being encouraged to jump for that which is ideal for you. Stick with the flow, how the universe is pulling you. That's going to be about heart's desires. But you have some fears showing up, and you are really focused on those fears, and the universe is suggesting you let that go. With the Death card, that also represents Scorpio. Don't know if I said that or not, so let me throw that in there for some of you that might need that one. Because when it's reversed like that, that's about mourning and grief, and I think that's playing a role on those fears. I think that's what the fears are, fears of a past. I think what you're experiencing actually is you're not wanting to make this choice because you fear of repeating the past. Good old ego is famous for that one. And then you are working with personalities that work along, but you're having issues again with that Lovers. So I think that Lovers disharmony here is a recent past, because it's also showing up in your present tense. So I think they're still playing a role with that. And you're trying to sow some seeds that will bring in your harvest. But it's going to involve this new journey. But you got to do a little bit more preparations. The universe is supporting you on that, but you're really fearful of getting burnt, and you're dealing with some overwhelm. And I think this is playing a role for some of you. The overwhelm is that past, those fears, and those emotions that you got to work and let that go. And then for some of you, it's playing a role on what your choice you're going to make. That's why you're wanting to make this choice, because of this overwhelm. And this also, again, I think I did say this one last time, represents Sagittarius for some of you. Okay, so yep, here we got this. So you're feeling trapped. Okay, so we're also experiencing that. We're feeling trapped, and that I think that's going to kind of come back to this overwhelm. So you're feeling trapped in some situation, and like I said, I think that one will be for those of you that this is playing a role in what choice you should make. And then there goes that Death card again, and it's in reverse. Wow, so yeah, definitely got to let something go. It's a fear of the past, because that's the morning with it being reversed. And this one also represents Capricorn, and this one also represents Scorpio. Oh, yeah. Okay, guys. All right. So whatever choice that you're making, whatever's making you feel trapped, this is not your heartline fate. This is ego. I told you, I've been catching ego. Ego is trying to take you down a path. It thinks it knows what its future is going to spill out, and it thinks it knows what it wants. But your higher self sees a grander picture, sees the further future, and knows better. So you are really trying to make a choice that will bring in your harvest that is right for you. But whatever you're trapped with in this current situation that is overwhelming you is not going to do that for you. So that is not your fate line path. Now, your fate line path is always what your heart's desire. What gives you your highest joy, your purest joy, your most fullest joy. That is your heart. That's what Source, that's why you have these desires inside you. Source put those in you, wants to experience that through your unique perspective. So yeah, you're not on that. So we definitely want to rein in that ego, guys, which goes back to that theme card, rein in the ego, which is showing the king is falling off his throne. If we don't rein in this ego, it is not going to lead to success there. Definitely not going to lead to success. So yeah, because we're not on our heartline phase. So yeah, the cards are definitely revealing that. And again, just like to observe in silence. So now we've got the Queen of Swords up here too. Observe in silence. I told you, for some of you just need to pull out of that story and get out of those emotions and see it from a more logical or spiritual perspective. And for this one, I really do think she does represent the logic, but I think here it's a more spiritual one, because your higher self knows what's going to bring you your joy. The Source knows what's going to bring you joy. Your ego is enjoying something right now, really a lot, but it's not going to work out like you think. And this is what your higher self, Source, knows. And then you got the Knight of Pentacles. You are being reassured, though. You do have family support. So I don't know if that can help you with the choice. You do have family support, you guys. Okay, so that is your present tense. So let's now clarify, what choice should you make? What choice should you make that's in your highest likelihood? We are feeling some defeat, a grand defeat. Now, it could be a little bit of play on past for some of you with those nightmares that you're envisioning, and with that death card coming up in reverse, but I think you might be feeling some of the defeat now too. And you have a hard choice to make. You don't like your current circumstances, but you don't like the choice you have to make to get out of it. But it's always the highest advice to make that choice. And when you make that choice, you need to hold your ground. When you make that choice of what is right for you, and what is going to make you thrive. Because you're right now, we've done seen the clarification. You're not on your thrival path, guys. I'm sorry to say that. And whatever you can't do on your own, your guides will come and knock out for you, and the universe totally supports that. And then once they knock that out, you are free to make that jump that is ideal for you. That will be the higher self-guidance. And they are being reassured, do not feel failure at all, because the universe got your back. They're leading you on the right way. And you just have a little bit of preparation to make, and there's some relationships, like families and friends, that you're unable to spend time with, or you're not spending time with. That, what choice would you make? A choice that will enable you to do that, so to speak. Okay, so now let's clarify here. And no one clarified. They're being quiet again. There we are. You can pull them all up, and then we'll start reading them. Okay, let's see if we got any more. Just make sure. Okay, I think we're good there. All right. Okay, so we've got the Six of Swords here. So yeah, the situation that you're in right now, there's a bit of fighting and you're done. It's time to walk away from that. So that's kind of showing up with that hold your ground too. That is showing there. So you're done with that. So whomever you're like in a dispute with someone here about an issue, that could be going back to this present tense with the Lovers card. So that disharmony that we're having there, and that also showed up in your past. And so I do really feel like that's a recent past that's affecting your current present there. And then you got the Six of Pentacles. So walking away from that, someone, it will offer you some charity is what I'm getting, and it will be symbiotic. So you will be taken care of, so you don't need to worry about that. You will be get some support. It'll be symbiotic. They're happy to help you and happy to receive, as well as whoever's receiving the help. Or it could be vice versa, that you're happy to help another. Same thing, same situation. And then you got the Nine of Wands. So yeah, we're feeling some misalignment, and that's going to be with these people that we're fighting with. We're definitely feeling out of alignment with them, and that's why you're like, okay, I'm done with the fighting. So we're walking away from that. And then you got the Hierophant here. So you got to check with the Hierophant. This one can work either way. This one can be, it can work with you with structures and paradigms that instill goodness with you. So some paradigms that you have set up since childhood that flow for you, that work well. So it can work well with you in that regard. If that's what sets you up on your thriving path, because those are healthy paradigms, then by all means stay within them. It cannot work well with you if they're restricting paradigms and they don't allow you to make choices that are on your fate line, you know. If they're going to keep you on a fate line choice that is not right for you, that is not your fate line, then you want to bust those out. So it just depends on your scenario and situation. This also represents Taurus. Okay, so that is your clarification. So let's wrap up your reading here, guys, with the Angels and Ancestor Oracle. Star Ancestor. Okay, so the Star Ancestor. All right, so you have got some guides, and those guides are coming here to knock them out. Follow the voice of your soul. Okay, guys, what choice should you make? You know, this says right here, you know what choice you should make. You know what stirs the soul. That heart line, fate line, what again, right now, based on the clarification, you're not on it. So you need to make the choice that will put you on it. So that hard choice you got to make, what feels good to the soul. That's what you need to tune into, and then you need to hold your ground with what is right for your soul, what gets you to thrive, and that's what your ideal new journey is going to be about, what makes your soul thrive. And so you know what that is deep down. You know it's a pure joy, and nothing can knock out that pure joy. Some situations where your ego gets a little sticky can make it difficult for the avatar. And that, again, is where you want to go back and observe in silence. And you also want to utilize that Queen of Swords, too, and pull out of that story and observe it from a spiritual perspective and observe it from a logical perspective as well. And you're not alone. You are like a starseed yourself, because you have these as your guidance too. These people are your guides, and they're here, and they're whispering and nudging and helping you. So, you know, I always tell you, deities of your choice. Some of you have these starseeds, or some of you are starseeds that have this guidance coming from whichever planet you may be from. So you do have that assistance as well. Okay, guys, so that is your reading. You can have what you want. You just gotta tune into what you really want and choose it. The choice is up to you. There's some healing to do, and having some faith. The universe has got your back. Always follow what makes that soul sing. That's the best way to say that. What makes your soul sing. All right, guys. That's your reading, and until next time, much love and much light. Okay, welcome if you chose the cat totem for this week's pick a card reading What choice should I make for October 2020? And your theme card is Nourish the Soul. It's a really pretty card. Okay. So my first impressions for this one, Nourish the Soul. So what choice should I make? All right, so this sounds like we need to hear the soul and nourish the soul. So this sounds like we've been playing in the ego lands a little bit too much and the soul's been deprived. From what my initial impressions are getting, we will draw the cards and see what you get. Let's see if we can get one more. Also, I'm getting that you've been mulling over this choice and you've been leaning towards what the ego wants. And they're saying nourish that soul. Go for what the soul wants, what your higher self knows is in your highest good and alignment. Okay, so keep in mind, guys, too, I have this tuned to many of you in your each unique relative story. So tune into what is relative to you. So the first card we're getting here is that you need to hold your ground. So this may be that whatever decision you're trying to make, this might upset other people. So you're going to have to heed your soul and make sure you hold your ground and don't let the upset of the other people sway you, so to speak, from that one. And interesting enough, this is a what choice should you make reading. And guess what? Your theme card says you have a choice to make. Fitting. But this isn't the fun one. This is the hard choice to make. You're between a hard place and a rock. So you don't like what the situation currently is now, but you don't like the choice you have to make to get out of the situation and the results of that either. My advice always is go with that one because it's going to get you out of what you don't like now. And it will eventually lead you to new choices with better results. It will definitely lead to betterment eventually. Initial steps may not be that grand and great, but you've got to see that whole picture. The ego only sees that one step. Oh my God. And then your ego, the problem with ego is it likes to find that next step. Like, okay, I don't like this that I'm going through now, but oh, that choice that I gotta make, oh, I make that choice, I'm gonna be stuck with that forever, because it goes to that forever never complex. Ego doesn't realize there's a grander future that follows that, and that's what your higher self knows, so that's what you want to go for. And you're being called upon to have strength to make this choice, guys. The universe has got you, you're being supported. Follow that heart. You're definitely always supported in that. Trust and have faith. And this also represents Leo. For some of you, it could be just tossed in there to say, hey, Leo, that could be you, or someone with whomever you engaged in the situation. And it may not even be relative to any of you, or some of you, because this is tuned to many of you. Okay, so now what we're going to do is look at your first row, which will represent your past, your recent past, or past of long ago, that is affecting your current present, which will be your second row of cards. And then your third and final row will be what choice should you make? What choice should you make that is in your highest alignment and good? So let's go take a peek at your past. Okay, that was quick. And again, I like to pull up all the cards and then I will start reading them for you. Whatever. Okay. All right. So in the past, you were feeling trapped in some form or fashion or way. This also represents Capricorn, by the way. And so that might be tossed in there for some of you. And then you're being called upon a new journey, one of the heart's desires, and you're being assured success with that. But you did get played with someone. Somebody played you. You thought it was an offer of love, but somehow, some way, they played you, and you weren't seeing that. You missed out on that one, guys. Sorry about that. And you weren't prepared for the step you weren't taking because you were not heeding your intuition. And I told you that ego. The ego's playing a role. You gotta watch that ego. And then here, this one was the Hierophant or the Priest card. This one comes in, and this one can work either way or. If you made choices that within good paradigms and structures that you've established for that lead you to healthy choices and healthy responses, then that's good that you work within that. Or if you weren't and you need to bust out of restricting paradigms that held you back, then you need to flip this one and bust out of it. So it could have worked in your good or it could have worked in your bad. Depends on your particular relative story. And this also represents Taurus. So it could be tossed in there for you on that one. Okay, so that's your past. So now let's take a look, see what's going on with your present. Okay, and again, I'll pull 12 cards for this one and then start reading them. Okay, and let's see if we get one or two more for you. Well, probably, hopefully two more at least. There we go. Okay. All right, so your present is looking interesting. You are being who you are, that is good, and being called upon a new journey that will be successful for you, and that will lead you to the harvest, that the seeds that you were sowing, and that it shows success. All of that is good, so that's really good. We are having an issue with an unsymbiotic charity situation. Someone may be giving you charity and resenting it, or have an ulterior motive in offering you that charity, or you could be given that charity and they're abusing it. So it could be something along those lines. Whatever is going on, everything is going on in your highest good and alignment, and you know this on some level. And you might be developing skills or honing skills in whatever you are doing. So this could be a career or a life lesson or whatever it is you're doing. So you're honing more skills, or you could be like a master of something and you're teaching other people. So it could represent that too. There is some type of fighting that you are walking away from or need to. You're focused on this fighting. You need to walk away from this fighting that's going on, that will work on your behavior. Again, you are being in character. This represents being who you are too, with success, with business, money, and what have you. But there is a little part of you that is feeling maybe a little empathetic, a little bored maybe with something. So I'm not sure. So you have to tune in to see how that fits your relative reality. I can say that. And otherwise, pretty much, guys, your present tense is looking pretty good. Okay, so what choice should you make? What is in your highest alignment and good? That's our next round. Talk about a jumping card. And again, I will pull them out and then start reading them. Is that going to be all of them? I think that's going to be all of them. Okay, so it looks they're suggesting you to go for and jump for that which is ideal for you, your heartline path, which makes you soar, what makes you happy, what ignites your passions. You want to jump for that. As you do that, you will be able to enjoy the fruits of your labor, and that will lead you to your happily ever after. So that is what they're telling you to do for whatever choice you make. You need to watch out for a fire that is burning you. This is the fire that burns. Somebody is being a little bit oppressive or pushy about something, and they're being a fire that burns. And with the Lover's card coming in right behind it, you might want to look at your partner. That might be the issue there. And this one also represents Gemini, so it could be tossed in there for some of you just to say, hey, Gemini, whether that be you or whomever you're engaged with the situation. But for some of you, you want to look at that situation. And then you need to let go of however it is your partner is burning you. So we need to get this issue resolved, because you are working on something that is ideal for you, that is going to guide you to enjoy the fruits of your labor, that assures you have a happily ever after. That is like one little storyline, but then you got this issue going on here with this lover, which is like, there's like a line there, so it's not like they're fitting in that picture this way with what they're doing, and that's what we need to let go of, because I think they're going to cause issues with the above line, with the ideal job, enjoying the fruits of your labor, and living your happily ever after. So we need to get this issue resolved. So whatever your choices you're making, go for that which is ideal for you. They are showing you happily ever after, and you'll enjoy the fruits of your labor, and resolve this issue. That's how I'm reading that one, guys. Okay, so that is your base reading, and I did that with the Mystical Cat Tarot and your Your theme card was based on the Messenger Oracle, and now let's clarify with the Two of Familiar. Okay, and shout out to my new subscribers and current subscribers. Glad to have you with me. Thank you. I appreciate your support. I love those comments. Keep them coming. I really do appreciate that. And if you're new to my channel, welcome. I'm glad to have you here with me. Also, just a reminder, those likes and subscribes really help me, so I really appreciate that. If you want to take a moment and do one or both, I appreciate that. And then also, I have new readings that are lower priced to help you out, especially during this pandemic. These are called What Are Your Love Blocks or What Are Your Money Blocks? So you might want to check those out, and I do also personal questions too. All of my personal readings, you can find links to those in the description box below. All right, so going back over your theme, so it's to nourish your soul. So whatever choice you make, you want to do one that will nourish your soul, not your ego. And then when you make that choice, you want to hold your ground. And you are between a hard place and a rock of a choice to make. Just remember, you want to make the choice that gets you unstuck. You're stuck in a situation you don't like. The choice you make is going to get you out, but you don't like it. But it's going to lead to better choices, which will lead ultimately to better results. And you're being encouraged by the universe to have strength and have faith. Trust that. The universe has got you, and this also represents Leo. And so for your clarification, we're getting someone's feeling left out in the cold here. And you could leave yourself out in the cold also. You got to tune your relative reality if you don't nourish that soul and you go for the ego. Just letting you know on that one. And then you got the Nine of Pentacles. You can enjoy the fruit of your labor if you remain who you are. And you're on that path and you're present. And you were told, and what choices you should make is about enjoying the fruit of your labors by jumping for that which is ideal for me. That is what is really being reaffirmed here. So you definitely want to do that. But you are a little bit focused on a negative situation. And for you, since it did show up about that burning lover, whatever that situation is, that's what you need to let go of. I think you might have a bit of focus there on that negative situation, which could be causing you some problems. So that might be the situation too that you're in, that you're not liking, is that situation with them, and you need to make a change with that to make things better for you. This one also, by the way, represents Sagittarius. If that fits for you, that may be tossed in there for you or with whomever you're engaged in the situation on that one. Okay, so that is your theme clarified. Now for your past, someone was feeling trapped, trying to begin a new journey of the heart. Always follow that, but somebody got played. They thought they had true offer love, but somehow that lover got played. It could go back to this one too, this lover that's burning you. That one could play back on this one. They may have shown something that you thought was the XYZ way, but it turned out to be ABC way. You're not sure. That could play on that one. You were not prepared. Those of us who play well, you were not prepared. Just throwing that out there. You know who you are. And then also, and if you do, if you don't, it's okay. You needed to follow your intuition, but we kind of missed it. And this can be like a cold mother figure too. I didn't really go over that. And then this one can work in your favor if you're working within paradigms that are good paradigms that work for you. Oh, okay, we already have a card flipped for you here. If you work in, you could be working within paradigms that are good for you. That's going into flow. Or if you're working with something that's restricting you from living your heart's desires, then you need to flip that. And that might be the situation. So it just depends on your particular relative story. And again, we already got one card here. I will pull up all of them and then clarify for you. Two of Swords. Same card. All right, so the way they clarify your past, they'll either reaffirm your past or reassure you, remind you what you need to do. Same card that you had here, exact same one. Hard place and rock choice. So you're in between. So yep, they're definitely reaffirming that. You got a choice to make, guys. That's why you're here. What choice should you make? Seven of... Same card, they're reaffirming your theme. Again, hold your ground. So whatever choice you make for your soul and hold your ground. Don't let anybody knock you down. And that might go back to this burning person that's burning you. Hold your ground, whatever choice you make, because you're trying to make choices that are ideal for you so you can enjoy the fruits of your labor and live your happily ever after. Don't let anybody knock you down for that one. Don't want to be knocked down for that one. Okay, and then also you've got the Seven of Cups. Yes, you got to choose your dreams. What are your dreams? And everybody has dreams and they have desires. They're put there by source itself, and you need to choose that. That's one storyline. Some of you feel like your reality's been popped. You thought something was going a certain way and boom. No, it's not. What the hell? Some of you are experiencing that. Some of you are just experiencing confusion. You might be struggling with this choice and it could really be confusing you. Follow the soul, that which is the purest joy that you could possibly get making that choice. That's some of you. And then the 9 of Wands. Yep, for those of you that are having a bubble popped, you're feeling out of alignment with whomever popped this bubble. You thought things were a certain way, but they're not. And then 2 of Cups, you were working on trying to have harmony with a lover, or maybe we thought we did since this is the past. And the reason why I said I thought we did, because it'll go back to the past, is because it's showing up here that you're in disharmony there. Okay, so that is clarification for your past. Now let's jump on to your present. Now your present, you're doing pretty good in your present. You're being who you are. That's great. Starting a new journey is going to be successful. That's great. Sowing the seeds that are going to bring into your harvest, that's successful. That's great. That's awesome. But there is some kind of charity that's not symbiotic. Somebody's giving you charity that they're resenting, or they're holding it over your head in some way or fashion as an ulterior motive, or maybe you're providing the charity and they're abusing it. Everything is ultimately working out in your highest good in alignment with the Sun card. There's no beating that, and you are aware of it because it is upright. You are trying to hone skills to learn something or master something, or you are that master and you are teaching those skills to other people. So you could be doing that. There is some kind of fight and riff-raffing that you are trying to walk away from. You're tired of that, and you, again, being who you are with your business. Their Earth Mother, she's got her family together, her business together. She's got it all working with her, and it all comes to success. And there's some way that you're getting bored. Something in you is so you have to figure out what's it. Okay, so for your clarification, Ace of Swords. So you are having some kind of spiritual breakthrough. So that is good, actually. And then the King of Cups. So someone has been playing a role for you, which enabled you, provided some type of power for you. So they're stepping out of that role, which puts you into your power. They can remain your friend, but it's going to no longer enable you, which will put you into your power. They could play a role with this charity card too. As they've been providing charity with you and stop, then that means you're stepping up and fulfilling that role yourself. So that brings you into your power. And then you've got an Ace of Cups, so that's moving into a heart's desire, new journey. You've got a few of those showing you that you had that with the I do want to jump for that one. And then here too, you're moving to the journey. And you had the Ace of Cups in your past and it was upright, but here it's reversed. So this means to move, there's some grieving, there's some healing you got to do. So the way that came up here too, there was you got played in a way you didn't know you were being played. So you might have been trying to go for that heart's desire, but you got played and were unaware of it, so you weren't prepared. It goes back to, wow, I just love that, because there's a thing in there that says you're not prepared. Forget jokes aside. But, and now you may be aware. You may be aware and you're still wanting to go for that heart's desire, but now you got some grief to clear up because you're understanding what was really going on. That could be playing that role. And then you've got the Knave of Pentacles here. So here, this is, you're wanting to, again, a new journey, and you're being invited to go on that new journey. But here, you might not feel like the love and support to do that, but the universe is reminding you, you definitely are supported, and you are loved, and they got your back. Go for your heart's desires. Don't let anything pull you back from your heart's desires on that one. Okay, so that is your present tense. And now let's look at your past. So you had the Sky Kitten upright, which is saying jump for that which is ideal for you. That goes back to your theme card. Nourish your soul. Do that which makes your soul sing, makes you happy. And that way you can enjoy the fruits of your labor, and that will lead to your happily ever after. However, we got the King here reversed. Somebody's burning you, and followed by the Lover's card. So that kind of indicates, that points the finger at whom? And that also represents Gemini, so it could be tossed in there for some of you for Gemini. And then you need to let go of the situation of how they're burning you. So you got to get them to stop burning you in that way, some form or fashion, some way, somehow. And we have one that's jumped here for your clarity. Let's see if we can get one. Here we go. I've got more than one now. Okay, so 2 of Pentacles. You're trying to work on getting it balanced, and we're feeling betrayed, and we might be feeling betrayed by this player situation, so that's understandable, very understandable in that situation. 8 of Cups. So with the 8 of Cups, you need to follow a spiritual calling, and your spiritual calling always is follow your heart's desire. Always. That is always a spiritual calling, because you are source. Source is within you. Source is the one that planned those desires for you, and that's when you're on your thing. And you got the Tower card showing up. So whatever your ego cannot let go of, it will knock out for you so that you can follow that spiritual calling. Ego doesn't like it, but it ultimately will lead to the good, because right now you have a little bit of a conquering going on here. You are engaged with someone, perhaps that lover, since that's a fire that's burning you right now. Engaged in a situation where they're trying to get you to see their perspective, beliefs, or values, or you might be trying to get them to see your perspective, beliefs, or values. Got to cut it out, because you can't convince each other. You can't convince the other. This is where I say love. Love them for who they are. Let them be who they are. Love yourself for who you are. Let yourself be who you are. And understand that you may not even can agree on something. All right, and then you got the Empress card here. So this is a loving mother character. I don't know if they could be help with you, or a situation of what choice you've got to make, or if this is a character of your own. Maybe you need to go in and give you some mothering to your ego that might be suffering a little bit with these hard choices to make, because that showed up twice, that hard choice in rock. So you might need to be soothing the ego too on that. So that's what I'm seeing with that. Okay, guys, so let's wrap up your reading now with the Angels and Ancestors Oracle. Okay, let's see what you got. You got a few here. Two here. Okay, so for your first one, you have the Lady. Enjoy growth and reap rewards. And she also plays on, and you got this twice, about, I think you got this in your theme card too? Yes, you got this in your theme card, as well as in what choices you make. Enjoying the fruits of your labor. So she definitely represents that. So any seeds you're sown too, your harvest will come in, and that shows you on your present tense too. So she is about growth and reaping those rewards. So right now you are in a growing place, and whatever choice you're making is going to lead to more growth, and you're going to eventually reap the rewards of that growth. And as you do it, you just want to be gentle with it, with the Shiloh Master here. Be gentle in movement and action. You want to make sure that you're definitely going and flow, nourishing that soul, going and flow with what's in tune with that heart's desire, and not pushing with the ego what the ego thinks it wants. So when you make those decisions that are hard for you, because you've got that card twice, that hard choice and rock decisions, you want to make sure that you do it and keep that soul in mind. What is right for your soul? What maintains you being who you are? Because you got that in your theme as a clarification, and you got that in your present tense too, being who you are. So you want to maintain that. So always too, as your guidance is telling you here, jump for that which is ideal. Also as well, this lady here, she goes back to the Empress card as well, which is where you ended here. The loving, nourishing mother type. She nourishes growth as well, so she be playing on this growth as well. So you may be gathering growth through that situation. And like I said, mothering your own ego as well. That is going to lead to some more growth to calm it down. And be gentle with it. The ego likes to push and force something to work. So when you make this choice, make sure you're not pushing and forcing, and make sure that you're going with the flow. And the flow is always what is making your heart happy, because anytime you make a choice that follows the heart, doors open. It's easy. It doesn't feel like a stagnation. It doesn't feel like a problem. It feels easier. It feels like joy. It's the higher joy too. So another way to help you with the choices you make, which one gives me the highest joy? that can help you too with that one. Just keep in mind too, guys, everything's working out in your highest alignment and good. Okay, so that is your reading, guys. And until next time, much love and much light. Welcome if you chose the Wolf Totem for this week's pick a card reading, What Choice Should I Make for October 2020. And your theme card is Let Go of the Old. Okay, so what choice should I make? So the first impression that I am getting here is the choice that you might need to make is a new journey or a new direction. And your ego is like hanging on to the old and doesn't want to move in that new direction merely because it's not familiar. Oh, we're already talking here. So remember, I have this tuned to many of you in your unique stories, so you'll have to see how it fits for you. And as I was saying, you're being invited upon a new journey, of which is success if you follow your heart. So yeah, so your ego is the one that wants to hang on to that which is familiar. It could be living in hell and see heaven over there. That's the new journey, looks beautiful, but I know I can survive this. I don't know if I can survive that. There might be a lion that's going to leap and jump out and grab me. And so I'm not going to go down that path. There's no lion right here. I might be really in pain, but there's no lion right here. So that's what your ego deals with, and that's what you want to work with. And for some of you too, you are dealing with some past failures, so your fear to go down the new journey is, oh gosh, I've had failure in the past, if I go down a new journey. That's kind of similar to what I want to do now. I could fail again, or just going down a new path, I could fail, because the ego also has this forever never complex problem. If I fail doing this once, I forever will. And it's not true. When a baby learns how to walk, it falls down a lot, but eventually it learns how to walk. So don't buy into your ego. And you are working. Your new journey is going to bring you to your legacy, the epitome of it all, your family, your business, and you're going to get it right, and it's going to be successful, so go for it. And we have a loving father character here, so I don't know if this represents you or with whomever you're engaged in your situation, but this is looking really good, guys. You'll have a good reading. Just let go of the old, which is pretty much that which is not familiar. And one of the biggest ways to do that, and that's why visualization takes place, and it's very beneficial for you to help that in meditation. Because as you keep meditating and visualizing and seeing you having your new journey as if you have it now, you become familiar with it. Do it day in, do it day out. You become familiar with it. Then you go, oh, okay, this is familiar. I can let that go. That really helps your ego, so it's very beneficial for you. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we are going to look at your past, whether it be your recent past. It could also have something to do with the far away past, with whichever past or a blend of it that is affecting your present, which will be your second row of cards. And then your third and final row will be, what choice should you make? That will be in your highest alignment and good. Okay, guys, so let's jump in there and take a peek at your past. Okay, all right, and then I will pull up all the cards and then start reading them for you. There we go. Let's see. Yep, there we go. One more? No, we have a story. Okay, your past, you were being called upon a new journey, but you didn't feel supported enough to go down that new journey. And this could be paradigmal. Could go back when I see this one come in reverse from not seeing success as a childhood or not feeling supported to do new things as a childhood. Could be. Remember, keep this in mind. I have this tuned to many of you in your each unique relative story, so see if that's relative to you. Now, that new journey you're being called upon, you had the support of the universe to go down that way. But somehow, some form or fashion, like I said, family support, a paradigm from your past as a child, you were misaligned with some people, so you very well could have thought, oh, you know what, if I go down that path, you didn't feel supported in this, because I'm going to upset so-and-so, aunt so-and-so, mama so-and-so, daddy so-and-so, sister so-and-so, brother so-and-so. You can never make choices based on that. Never do that. That's ego trying to appease everybody. And you were feeling out of balance, because again, we're looking at that which is unfamiliar, and that's scary, and we certainly don't want to upset so-and-sos. But the situation that you were in that new path that you were being called on, was to get you out of feeling trapped. And you were really trapped, and you were really focused on that which was keeping you trapped. You really need to take your focus off of that and ask for assistance and ask for help from your higher self, your guides, your angels, whatever your deities are. That's what your path was there on that situation. And it continues. I forgot we had a pile more cards here. And then there was something you really needed to let go of. Perhaps that trapment, letting go. And there may have been some loss and holding on to that too. So when you might have been feeling trapped in that loss. And this, to the point that you were moved to some grief of some type. And this is the Death card, and also represents Scorpio. So for some of you, this card could just be possibly tossed in there and say, hey, Scorpio, whether that be you or whomever you are engaged with in your situation. You were working on a happily ever after. And by jumping with that, which is ideal for you, and choosing from your dreams is what you were working on. Did you do that? That we don't know. Perhaps. Perhaps not. So let's see what you got going on in your present. Maybe your present will tell us. That could go back to that journey card that the universe was supporting you to go along. That journey would have led you to your happily ever after, because it would have led you to that which was ideal for you and led you to your dreams. But you might not have done it because you were going to upset so-and-sos, which kept you feeling trapped is what I'm getting there. Okay, so we've got one little card slipping off of here, and here's a few more. So I'm going to pull up all the cards and read them. Not like what I'm seeing so far, guys. Yeah, I think as I just read those cards, that fits. All right. Again, we'll pull them all, and then we'll start reading them. Alright, let's see if we have one or possibly two more for you. Okay, we do have a few. Okay, so let's move these cards around to accommodate accordingly. Okay, alright, so we're not spending time with loved ones and friends, and this could be happening seriously because of the pandemic. That could be happening of some type. So we're missing on that, and that can put a strain on relationships. We have been played by somebody, guys. I'm sorry, and we are really fighting with this, people. Whomever we have been played by, we're really fighting for trying to conquer each other, to adopt the other's views, perspectives, and or values. Stop it. It's not going to work. You're really focused on this, too. Just love yourself, love them. Okay, this is who they are, this is their values, this is their perspectives, but I have my own, and I can maintain those. Don't let them try to sway you over. You are valid to hold your own perspectives and desires and values, because Source put them inside of you. You're entitled to yours as well. So this is not working to be arguing and fighting with these guys. It's not going to work. It's not going to lead to either one of you working out. Even if one of you caves for a little while, it's not going to last, because eventually you're going to resent, and it's going to bring problems. And you're not following a spiritual calling. A spiritual calling is always go down your heart path, and you're not doing that right now. And you're being invited to have strength and faith and trust that you're doing to do that. This also represents the Leo card. And you are really dealing with some confusion here, probably because you were played. This was unexpected, which is leading to all this chaos right here. So that's happening, and this is placing you in the position. So yep, here you are. What choice should you make? You're between a hard place and a rock. You don't like your current circumstances, and whatever choice you got to make, that's a difficult choice too. You don't like how that choice, if you make it, you don't like the results of that. My advice always with that one is always make the choice that changes the scenario that you don't like, because eventually will lead to new choices that will lead to better outcomes. Your ego cannot see that. It can only see that very possible next step, and that's where it's blinded. Oh God, I'm not gonna like that. Ugh. Your higher self sees the whole future. Oh, but that will lead to this that you will love, and this that you will love, and this that you will love, and this is where you will thrive. Your higher self can see that, so you want to, yes, definitely step out of the story, step out of your ego, step out of your avatar. Tune into that which you're spiritual, and look at things from a logical perspective, a more spiritual perspective, and see what's really going on for the bigger story. Step out of that chapter and look at the whole book, so to speak. Because right now you're not on your fate line, you're not on your heart line, you've been following ego, and ego is leading you down a path of demise. And someone's feeling left out in the cold. It could possibly be you. or whomever you engage with this situation, especially with this fighting right here, or maybe by whomever played you. You're definitely feeling left out in the cold, and you are also feeling trapped in the situation, guys. I'm very sorry. This is a very sticky present tense that you're in. My apologies for that. And tossing in there, this also represents Capricorn. So this is your present tense. It doesn't look good. It looks like you missed your opportunity in your past that would have led you to be happily ever after and your dreams coming true. It's okay. This does not mean it's doom and gloom and now you're stuck forevermore. You always have the freedom of choice. Always have the freedom of choice. You could always get back on your heartline path by making new choices. Because your theme card is looking good, but you got to let go of that old. So what is your old now? It's the choices you made in the past and that is affecting the scenario that has you stuck and trapped in this present moment that you're disliking. That is what is now old for you, because what you are currently experiencing comes from past thoughts, old feelings. That's what created your current reality. You want to go down a new journey that will be successful and lead to your legacy. Create new thoughts. You can do it. It's your choice. Okay, so let's look at what choice should you make. What choice should you make that's in your highest alignment and good? Okay, and again, I'm going to pull up all the cards and start reading them. Okay. Alright, so what choice should you make? Okay, you're definitely coming in here with the Priestess in reverse. There's some healing that needs to be done, and you definitely want to heed your intuition, but there definitely needs to be healing some done. Someone playing a role with you in your current situation is a lover, and we are in disharmony with our lover with the Two of Cups coming in here in reverse. And you are feeling like someone is oppressing you, and it very well could be, since it's coming back with the lover, you might be feeling the oppression from your lover. And or, tuning into your story, you could be feeling out of your power. And it could also play, like I say, and or, because your lover is oppressing you, you're feeling a little bit powerless. And or this also could represent Aries, whether that be you or whomever you're engaged with in the situation. Have faith, all is right with your world, because everything is going to end up your choice. So as you make a choice, you can lead to that which everything is right with your world. Just listen to that heart, and in between that, heed your intuition. Intuitively, you know deep down and in your heart what choice should you make. You know which one is right for you. You deep down know. Your ego doesn't want to look at that because it doesn't like the idea. But you right now are feeling trapped, and you are in a little bit of a riffraff here, and you feel played, and you're not following your heart's desire, you're not on your fate line, and you're not following your spiritual calling. You're being called on that new path, guys, that will lead you to your successful legacy. So that's how you got to base your choice. What feels right to that heart, what feels like pure joy, your fullest joy. You know this, your intuition's here, and that is what is going to lead you to what is right with your world. Alright, so that is your base reading. So we did that with the Mystical Cat Tarot, and I did your theme card on the Messenger Oracle. So now we're going to clarify with the Tarot Familiar. And I want to give a shout out to my new subscribers and my current subscribers. Thank you for being here with me. I really appreciate your support. And also, if you're new to my channel, welcome. I'm glad to have you here with me. I do want to throw in those likes and subscribes. It really do help me, guys, so I really appreciate that. If you're finding these readings helpful and want to help me back, that'd be a great way to do so. Thank you. And then also I have some new readings to help you guys out, and they're lower price. in the new readings, because I do offer personal readings, you'll find the links in the description box below. And some of the new ones are what are my money blocks or what are my love blocks, so they might can help you out there. So if you want to check those out. Okay, so your theme card was to let go of the old. And we see the past situation and your present situation, the old thoughts, that's what you've got to let go of that are causing problems for you. You're being called on this new journey that will lead to success, that will lead to your full success of legacy. There is a father figure here of some sort, loving, nurturing father figure. I don't know if that's you or someone in your life. And you are being called to not look at past failures, because past failures are what are the old that you need to let go of, and know that you can succeed with whatever you're doing that's new. And you're being definitely invited to have the strength and trust and faith, and it's a little bit tricky for you and difficult for you right now, and that's understandable. And this also represents Leo, so for some of you, again, I have this tune in, many of you, tune into that may be a reference to you. Then, interesting enough, we have the King of Cups here in reverse. Now, when it's showing up in reverse like this means that someone has been helping you in a way that enabled you, but you weren't in your fullest power. So they're going to be stepping out of that role, and then you're going to be coming into your own power by them stepping out of that role. So you'll have to assume that they can stay your friend, but they are going to be stepping out of that. And then, interesting enough too, we have the Ten of Pentacles. So that new journey that's inviting us to that lead us to success. I think this has to happen, because if it doesn't, it's not going to lead to your success and legacy. Since they're definitely sitting there just opposing each other like that, their helping you is going to lead to demise. You being in your own power is going to lead to your success. You need to follow that new journey and have strength and fear. Have strength, not fear, and have faith that you will be successful and will not fail. The universe has got your back. They are definitely showing you success here. Okay, so that's a clarification of your theme cards. Now let's look at your past. With your past, like I said, you were being invited on a new journey. You felt like you would get a little unprepared. You didn't feel supported, and that might show up from a paradigm in the past, like even childhood. It depends on your particular story. The universe was supporting you going on that journey, but there was a little bit of, I'm going to upset so-and-sos if I do that, and you're feeling out of balance. And that led to you feeling really trapped to the point you really needed to ask for help, guides, angels, whatever your deities were, to get assistance from that. And you really needed to let that go. And you need to let go of something to the point that it might be causing you some mourning, because that journey that they were pulling you upon, that also represents the Scorpio. It's a death card. I don't know if I called that last time. My apologies. It might be thrown in there for you. Because that journey was going to lead you to your happily ever after by jumping for that which is ideal. And that which is ideal is what are your true dreams. Never let go of the dreams, guys. Now, they're funny how they clarify your past. They'll either affirm your past, or they'll start giving you some suggestions of what to do now. So let's look and see what shows up. Looks like this is all they're going to give you in the clarification. Yep. All right, so for your clarification, King of Wands. So the King of Wands, he's about passionate desires, and he's about success. So yeah, this is following right here. That journey, if you embarked upon it, will lead you to your happily ever after. That which is ideal for you and your dreams, and that will be successful. Now, this was your past, so don't think this is doom and gloom. Oh my God, I missed this opportunity. Now I can't do that. No, you can still change things. You made a choice back then that led you to miss out on all of this. But if you can let go of all of that, which kept you from going for this, and now you can make the choice that will lead you right to this. So don't let that get to you. And it looks like in order to make that choice, it looks like you are having some issues with a person or people. And since we got this little disharmony going on with the lover over here, that might be the person with whom you're having a problem. And you know, the tangled mess here, a little bit of issues there with them. So that might be whomever you need to resolve things to get you going back on your happily ever after, your ideal path, and your dreams coming true and being successful. And this also represents Libra, so that could be tossed in there for some of you saying, hey, Libra, if that's you or whomever you're engaged with in your situation. All right, that's your clarification for your past. And for your present, you're missing out on spending quality time with friends and family. That could be causing some relationship issues too, and longing. You got played by somebody, and that card, when that card comes up, when it's upright, it's usually a true love offer, and usually it's from the lover. So since we have some issues going on with the lover, you might feel like somehow, some way your lover might have played you. And then we're definitely in some riff-raff fighting. You are trying to conquer them to see your ideas and values, or they're trying to conquer you to see their ideas and values. It's not going to work. Love you for who you are with your ideas and values. Love them for who they are, and understand you can't switch the other. Understand that you're not following your spiritual calling currently on the path you're on, and I think it's because you missed out going down that path you were supposed to, that was going to lead you to your happily ever after. And you're being called to have strength, just like in your theme being clarified too, to do that. You are confused. It's because you didn't follow that path, and you are having to make a choice, and it's between that hard place and a rock. You don't like where you are, but you don't like the choice going to get you to that. Step into that logical perspective and make the choice that's best for you, that's going to lead to your soul's desires, because right now you're not on your heartline faith. You're not following your passions. You're not following what source came here for you to experience. You've been following ego, and that is possibly leading you to feel left out in the cold, especially with that player card, and it's also making you feel trapped. And so for your clarification, you've got 4 Pentacles here, so you are being assured you do have family support. You've got that going for you. Oh, no, wait. This is my bad. This is not 4 fire. This is showing you have some abundance of some type. Take note of it and be grateful for the abundance, because as you're grateful for the abundance, you continue to expand it and make it continue to grow. And then the 5 of fire. So here, yep, we're having a little bit of spit spat with someone. We're seeing that here a little bit, especially here. And so there may need to be some communication, or it's just reflecting that there's a little squabble here or there. And then the 9 of Pentacles. You can enjoy the fruit of your labor when you heed your intuition. And this is like, you all will be right with the world. Over here, what choice should you make when you heed your intuition? You have a choice to make. Don't heed your intuition and listen to your ego, or heed your intuition and listen to your higher self that will lead you to thriving. So that one's, and then you enjoy the fruits of your labor. And then you got the High Priestess, which showed up here. What choices you make, definitely indicating again, there is healing that needs to be done. So you've got some healing to do. And that was followed by the Lover's card in disharmony. So there may be some healing that needs to be done with this Lover card. And if you feel like your lover played you in some form or fashion, that could be how it's doing that too. And then you do have the Hermit card showing up, so that's inviting you to go within, take some time, connect with your higher self, connect with your guides, connect with your angels, whomever your deities or masters or whatever they are. Connect with them, ask them for guidance to put you back on your heartline faith. You definitely want to do that. And this is also the Hermit card, so this also represents Virgo. So it might be tossing this to you to say, hey, Virgo, or with whomever you're engaged with in your situation. That is the clarification of your past. So now for the clarification of your, what choice should you make? What choices are in your highest good and alignment to make? And when we see we need some healing that needs to be done, and it's followed by this little issue that we got going on with a romance partner, maybe a bigger issue than it appears, as it is followed with the Emperor in reverse, which means someone is oppressing you. So since it's following that, I'm saying that you might be possibly feeling the oppression from your lover, and or listen to your relative's story. That could also be making you feel powerless. So even if they are oppressing you, that can lead you to feeling powerless, understandably so. And or this is also represents Aries. So there could be a message to say, hey, Aries, whether that be you or whomever you're engaged with in the situation. You do have the World card, and it's showing upright, that everything can be right in your world if, listening to the Moon card, you heed your intuition. Oh, and that one represents Pisces. I don't think I caught that last go. My bad on that one. And you have a choice to make. And that choice that they were advising you to listen to your intuition. And that was the same clarification that showed up here in the present tense. So yes, so the Knave of Cups. So yep, new journey. They're inviting you again for a new journey for your heart's desires. You're being invited on that one again. The Knight of Wands. So this one's showing up that it's either showing you that you can navigate through your challenges with ease, or that there is a move of residence in your future, and that one looks positive without any delays or issues. Alrighty, and then we've got the Three of Cups that showed up here too in your present tense. You're missing out on time spent with loved ones and family, so you might want to flip that, because this is what choices you make. Spend the time with your loved ones and family and connect. And then you have the Five of Cups. Yep, so the Five of Cups showed up in your themes, showing that you got your eye on some failure, and that's some of the old you need to let go, thinking you can't succeed on your new journey. But this one is actually in the situation that you're feeling trapped because you're not following your heartline fate, and you're not heeding your spiritual calling. that you are actually missing out on opportunities that are befalling you now. So you really want to get busy with making this choice, guys, so to speak, because you're missing out on opportunities that are following you now. Don't let your ego fool you and think, okay, what I've done for once, I must have done forever. Being invited on that new journey with your heart's desires and passions, that which ignites you. And you're being assured success with the Ace of Wands here. And the King of Swords. And following that, you will definitely have a spiritual breakthrough. So that is looking really good there. You got the Six of Swords. Yep, there's been some fighting and riffraff going on. And they're telling you to walk away from that. And so the fighting and riffraff going on, I'm seeing it here with the Lovers. Especially with the reverse Emperor coming in here. So that might be the one. And then we saw that fighting a riffraff here too, which was trying to conquer each other's values and perspectives, coming up being played. And this usually represents a true love from a lover. So it was like maybe a possibly lover that played you. So lovers keep showing up in that situation there. Okay, and then you got the Ace of Pentacles, again being invited to that new journey, and they're showing you success. This would be success in your money. This would be success in your family. This is the same thing with this 10, reaching that on that new journey. That new journey will take you there, getting it all, getting your legacy. So begin that new journey. And here we go, the Lovers card in reverse again. So yeah, guys, we got some issues with our lover here. We're definitely seeing that. So we need to resolve that, because I see with the situation going on, I think they are impeding you and making you feel trapped. So you're not on your fate line because of whatever your lover's doing, especially if they're being oppressive and you're not following your spiritual calling. So we need to definitely resolve that. This also represents Gemini. For those of you that's just going to be tossed in there and say, hey Gemini, whether that be you or with whomever you're engaged in a situation. Okay guys, so that is your clarification for what choice should you make. So let's wrap up your reading now with the Angels and Ancestor Oracle. Okay, that was quick. Quick and easy to the point. Alrighty. Earth Mother. Feel loved and comforted. Oh, this is perfect. Okay, so the Earth Mother, she's like the counterpart to the Sky Father. And I see the Sky Father, it depends on how you want to see it, God or whatever, the Creator or whatever. I see it as Source. But it's like a source could also be the Father God, and the Earth Mother could be the Mother God. But she is assuring you to feel loved and comforted.